Meta says it is officially ending news access for Canadians on its Facebook and Instagram platforms. The company says it is removing news for all Canadian users over the course of the next few weeks. Meta was previously running a test that limited news for up to 5% of its users, and now it says it's moving out of the testing phase. That means links to news articles and other content posted by Canadian publishers and broadcasters will no longer be viewable to people in Canada. Meta says it is defining such news content based on the Liberal government's Online News Act, which became law this summer. It says the move to block news is in response to the bill, which requires tech giants to enter into agreements that compensate Canadian news outlets for content shared or otherwise repurposed on their platforms. Joining us now is tech expert Carmi Levy. Carmi, we knew this was coming, no real surprise, but how should news organizations react to this? What will have to change?
Well, I mean, certainly it's disappointing because if Meta had decided to play ball, then this could have opened up an opportunity for new sources of revenue from a social media company, the social media company. In exchange for carrying their content on their platform, they would have paid a certain fee to media organizations. So obviously that's off the table if this permanent change goes ahead and stays permanent. But at the same time, I think it also opens up an opportunity for news organizations who, quite frankly, have gotten used to having their content carried on social media platforms, with the big American technology companies deciding what the rules are and essentially forcing media organizations to sort of play by those rules. And so this allows media organizations to get back to what they do well, which is build community, get their audiences back to using their websites, publicize their apps, go direct, cut out big social as the intermediaries, and essentially get back to doing what they did long before social media was a force on the horizon. I think it's also important for us to recognize that most Canadians weren't getting their content from Facebook. It's not really a great way to source or discover new news content. And certainly on Instagram, everyone's going there for the pictures and the videos. They're certainly not going there for their daily news fix.
Do you think this move will backfire on Meta?
I think it's highly possible that this will backfire on Meta because it removes one of the value propositions why we use Facebook and Instagram in the first place. A certain percentage of Canadians did use these platforms to discover what's going on in their communities. And now, of course, that's gone. It basically devalues the platform, gives them one less reason to use Facebook, one less reason to use Instagram. Facebook in particular is aging out. It's not growing like it used to. The kids, the cool kids aren't using it anymore. They're on TikTok and Snapchat. So, if Facebook wanted to give us a reason to stick around, they've just actually gone the other way. They're taking reasons away. And I would expect that to be a negative driver of traffic going forward. It certainly makes them look like a bully, big American tech company coming north of the border and trying to push the government around, basically pulling a child's hissy fit because they're not happy that the government is introducing new legislation. They've gotten a free ride for the better part of the last 2 decades. They've been allowed to monetize other media organizations' content and then not pay back into the industry as well. So it's been a completely one-sided equation, and they've gotten fairly rich in the process, and they're not happy at this change in rules. So it looks nasty, it looks bullying, it is, and quite frankly, if they were hoping to score some PR points by this latest move, permanently removing content from their platforms in Canada, they've absolutely failed.
Do you think Meta will stick to its guns on this?
A couple of years ago, Meta went right up to the wall in Australia, threatened to go dark there, and ultimately backed down from the precipice. And now they've agreed to the law in Australia, and they are in fact paying media platforms there. I think something's a little bit different here in Canada. I think they were worried that the Australian experience would set a precedent. I think they're sending a message that they don't want this to become the way they do business in countries around the world, and they're drawing a line. So I don't see there being a last-minute removal here or reversal. I think that is serious, and I think they're going to be sticking to their guns.
Thanks so much for joining us, Carmi.
Great being here, Kelly. Thank you.
And just a reminder to our viewers that because Meta has been suppressing professional journalism in their algorithms, CHCH and Trending Now have stopped posting to Facebook and Instagram. We're still working hard for our viewers, and our content can be found on chch.com, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter, and of course, right here at 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m. Our daily newsletter subscription is free too, and our Trending Now podcast is available for free anywhere you can listen.